Hey there again, all my crafty friends. I thought I would come show you something that I've been working on. I'm sorry, I'm getting my camera to focus. So I've been working on some projects, and one of the things what I've been doing is tearing apart. Taking these quilt pieces apart. And this one quilt that I had that I've been using on that journal, I posted a picture on Instagram and in Junk Journal Connections of a journal I'm working on. And this really old quilt that somebody gifted me, that she literally found in a barn, that was in pretty sad shape. I'm gonna pull these out, but while I'm talking, I washed it, and then I took it apart. And some of the pieces were still pretty good, so I've used it, for ribbon pieces, stitched them in that journal, used them for tabs and things like that. But most of it was pretty scrappy, so I thought, what can I do with all these, scrap pieces? Because I'm not gonna cover 100 journals with them, and so just sitting around thinking while I was taking it apart. So I thought, I hadn't made these rolled flowers in a long time, and there's a lot of tutorials out there on these that I've seen before in the past, but these are a little bit scrappier looking, and I thought I would share with you what I did. So I just took some strips of either like cotton sheet or muslin. I had some strips of muslin, and got my scraps. And if y'all were like me, I got a little handful of scraps over here to the left of me that I'm gonna just play with while I'm doing this video. But I have a whole bin of scraps. Y'all see that? And I've been working just as hard as I can to use those up, and it's just not ever gonna happen. I'm not gonna ever get them used up. And then, so I'm gonna show you how I do this, and then what I did, because I use fabric glue, and you can use hot glue with these too, just be careful if you use hot glue. So then what I did was I stitched through them, and it gives it that kind of shabby look. And I don't know if any of you watch Sagita. I think she does this. She does a similar flower, and I've never watched her tutorial on how she does it. But they're just really cute, and it's a great way to make a ton of embellishments. A ton of little flowers, and I still have more here in this bag, and I'm still making them, and I have a ton of scraps. So, and then these I haven't even cut out yet. But I like to do them on a strip like this, glue them down, and then cut them out. It's just faster, it's easier. If you want to do bigger flowers, just get you a bigger strip. And you can do these, you can do them kind of small. Like these are little, these are a little bit bigger. Just depends on what size you want. And I think that would be great to use as embellishments on the front of a journal, which I've just recently been working on another journal cover, and I used a couple of them there. And on your tags, or on a tab, like if you put a tab on the side of a page, and then you could put a little bulb pin and hang a little charm from it. It's just another one of those things where the possibilities are endless. You could also put them on, this is another little project I've been working on that I saw from, I think her channel is Twinsy for Me, and her name is Christy, and I'll link her below. But she was doing these little pockets. This is another thing I was trying to use up quilt squares, and I just, down and dirty, you just cut the strip. I didn't take the backing off of these. The backing was still in pretty good shape, and you just stitch on both sides. Well, I stitched around first, and then stitched it up on both sides, and then you can stamp and put little layered fabric, put buttons, whatever you want to do. So for mine, I did the little elephant, and then I made this a pocket too, and I stitched the buttons on with some wax linen thread, and then I glued my pocket on the front of this. But they turned out really, really cute. And it's like a 4x6, and you can use these in a journal. You can use these as Happy Mail, put little things in them and send them out. And that's kind of what I was thinking, or little extra gifts to go with people who, folks who purchase my books and stuff. So I made several of those too. And this is another way to use up your scraps. So I made quite a few, and y'all know I love the boy stuff and the puppy. And then I made some jean ones too. So that was another little thing that I was working on. And another way, this is kind of about using up scraps. So as I think of other things, because I'm really going to try to do more tutorials and share how I do things with you guys, I'll share some other projects with you if I come up with anything, I think you might be interested in. But for this, so just get you a little strip of fabric. And like I said, it doesn't have to be muslin. It could be, another strip of your, left of your scrap, because you're not going to see the back unless you want to put it on a paper clip, and you don't see the back. But I think it'll be cute too. And I didn't bring everything out here with me, but if you wanted to do a paper clip, so these would be really cute paper clips, and put one on the front and one on the back. Of course they need to be the same size, or you could just put a little button, a little button on the back. That would be really cute too. So another one of those things where you can do all kinds of stuff with it. So, and you don't need a lot. So if you want a little bit thicker flower, then use like a wider piece of fabric. But you can see here, this is probably not even a foot long, and I didn't bring my ruler, of course. But this is maybe 8 inches long or so, and about 1 inch wide. And now you can do this really down and dirty, and you can just twist and twist and twist this fabric like this. Okay, and then just kind of use this as a base over here, and it's kind of fiddly, and just kind of twist this around. But as you see, when I do that, it comes unraveled. So I try to get a twist, try to get a little base piece of fabric in my finger, like that. Okay, and then I just kind of start twisting it. Now, some people glue these as they go along, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep twisting towards me, and then kind of up underneath, and keep it in my finger. Okay, so I hope you can see what I'm doing. Kind of twist and hold it. Now to do the bigger ones, you might want to glue as you go, because it's harder. Just twist and twist. And what I really like about these little scrappy pieces, these little quilt pieces, is I love that little frayed. Let's see if I can focus right here. So I love that little frayed look there. So just keep going like that. Okay. And now I don't want mine too much bigger than that, so I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to hold it with this hand, and then I'm going to cut. I'm just going to cut this piece off, and be very careful, don't cut yourself. I don't do things very, probably the safest way sometimes. And then just take that little bit of flat piece and roll it up underneath, okay? And while you're holding that, get your glue. And I should open up the glue first. Now, I'm using fabric glue, but like I said, you can, this one's a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna put it here. Then put your glop of glue, okay? And then just push this into your glue. Now, since I'm using fabric glue, I'm gonna have to hold that for a minute. And I'm gonna come in here, because it's not gonna grab that glue from the bottom. Put a little bit more glue. And just kind of hold that down. And then leave it alone and let it set up, let the glue set up. It's that easy. But yeah, so I thought I would share that with you. And then, so if you want, it's easier to do it with a little bit thicker piece of fabric. So I'll show you. I've got another little, this is a little scrappy piece. I'm working on a some more Western kind of farmhouse type journals, and I had this little piece. So I just take and put this here, and then I just start twisting. So I'm keeping myself a little piece there that I can put this on. And see, this is a newer piece of fabric, so to me, it doesn't work quite as well. I'm not getting that. I probably should be rolling the other way. All right, let's try that again. I don't like that. Yeah, that's what happens when you get on camera and you try to show something right. It doesn't work right. All right, so I got this other little piece of fabric that Phaedra just sent me that I showed in the Happy Mail. It's a little piece of a one. If y'all don't like that sound, I'm sorry. Some people really don't like that sound. So this was from a little doll dress. So let's try this one. And then you just twist and twist until you get like a little, kind of a little bud started there, and then just twist and twist. And you can do it you can twist the other way too if twisting towards you or away from you. Either way works, whatever works for you. But I just thought these were really fun, and I spent an afternoon just rolling little scraps of fabric. And you could make, I think I made like 50 of these, and it really truly didn't even put a dent in my scraps. But I thought they were cute, and they're great on projects. And I really kind of like this kind of shabby look. And this one, I'm going to use that whole piece of fabric. Okay, so this one's smaller. I'm going to put it on this little piece. And put a good, healthy, glob of glue there. Don't get too much, though. And you can kind of mush it. Mush it. Where you want it. So, well, okay, and then it sticks to your fingers, so. Hot glue works really good, too. But if you're going to do it through your sewing machine, sometimes hot glue is kind of hard, and it might be harder to get. Okay, my fingers are grabbing the glue. And then when you cut it out, if there's any little pieces that you don't want on there, you can just just cut around it. Take my scissors and just closely cut. And try not to cut, like I want that little piece right there, but I don't want that. And use a sharp pair of scissors. And this, I'm not looking for perfection here, but that's it, So you can just keep going on your piece of fabric and make as many as you want, and then go back and cut them all out. And careful running them through your sewing machine, though, because because it is thicker. I kind of hold on to those two threads when I'm sewing and kind of pull as my machine's putting them through, because you can't put, if they're too thick, it's not going to go through your sewing machine unless you just hand do your sewing machine, or unless you have a heavy duty, have a heavier dutier sewing machine than what I have. But anyway. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. And then, so while you have your scraps out, somebody else asked me to do my paper clip.